same. I'm so tired of playing games. You don't have to be so hard. Just tell me your dreams, the things you like. What turns you off, what makes you doubt. I'll tell you my deepest secrets. I wanna let them out. Hiding a million different things. Waiting for the nighttime to see what it brings. And I'm still even deep in my head. And sometimes I feel my heart is dead. Maybe tonight, late in bed, could I love instead? Yeah, I'm still living deep in my head. And sometimes I feel my heart is dead. Maybe tonight, late in bed, could I love instead?
We're here. We're back. Hey there, welcome back, guys. This is going to be another live stream. It's been a while. It feels like it's been a while. It's only been like a day or two, but I kind of love the live stream better than the regular videos because there you don't have to edit. You don't have to like cut and then this and that, which is fun. I like that. But with the live stream, it's just awesome. It's because you get what you get. What you give is what you get. And there's no, hold on. Oh, nice. And then that's it. And then you're done. And you go to bed, you set it and forget it. But no, it doesn't work. You know, to keep the channel healthy, you have to sort of leave a balance of things. So anyway, this video is going to be about your Part 107. My Part 107 expires in September, but my plan is to like study a little bit every month because it's a lot of material to go over. And sometimes it can be a little confusing because sometimes things make sense to you in the real world, and then when you get these government tests, you're like, what? That makes no sense. Like one example would be, are you allowed to drop anything from your drone? And in the textbooks, they say, no, don't. And then in the Q&A, there's an answer that says, yes, you can. So it's like sometimes some things are confusing. And you'll see, I'll do one part. Maybe I'll do like, this will be a, I don't know how many parts there are in the series, but totally doable. I can tell you how many parts there are. Let's see. There's a book that you buy, and the book comes with everything that you need, except you know, you have to learn it. But there's also the book actually comes with an app, and you put the code in. And then you basically, it's called Remote Pilot Prepware. Prepware is, I think, the best one. And then there are some online courses you have to take. I mean, you decide what's best for you. Some people do the app and they pass. Some people do both and they pass. And I did both. I did the Prepware. I did the online course with the Drone Pilot Institute. And, you know, the couple others out there. I chose that one at the time because it was, if you failed, they would pay for you to take the exam again for free. So basically you'd have to fail, but I didn't fail. But you know, it was nice to have that guarantee. It was a little bit antiquated with their screen sharing experience. And sometimes I was like, wait, what is that? And that's why I had gotten, some of you might see this in my videos. It's this little magnifying glass. I had gotten that because you're allowed to bring one in to your exam. And then you also can bring in a little a little, you know, compass. They give you the degrees for like 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, etc. And all the, you know, you have all the degrees there. And you know, and then it was great. And then after I passed my Part 107, I took a the recurrent exam online. And I was like, oh my God, this is just amazing. I wish the Part 107 exam was actually like that. It was just so easy. I logged in. You know, it's a very government website, but the recurrent exam where you take it to get refreshed so you can keep your license current, I was like, oh my God, this is great. The material is intense, don't get me wrong, and you can take it as many times as you can until you pass, which is great. So, you know, you just sort of, you know, just keep taking it again until you pass, because you have to, I believe, score 100. You have to get them all right, which is fine, because then you just memorize, or sort of like you just learn which ones you need to get right and which ones you got wrong. And sometimes you get the ones right that you got wrong and the ones wrong that you got right. And then finally it's like back and forth. And then you get 100, you pass, and it's good for 2 years. But I'm just going to go over some of the questions they have on the Prepware, and then we'll see. You know, can you get your Part 107? Do you think you've got what it takes? But I don't know. Let's, without any further ado, or Abdul, let's get started. All right, so I'm just going to shrink this so you guys can see my screen there. And Afix, hello, I missed you. Oh, FPV Unknown got back to us, which was great. I'll write back to him on the next Q&A that we do. I thought we lost him because, you know, I haven't done any videos worthy to be commented on, which is like FPV related, because I forgot what I was doing in between there. I don't know, just putzing around with other stuff. But it's good. I dove back into it. But yes, I will answer your question. And one of the reasons why I put the GPS on the Pavo, what's the name of the app again? I forget. Reflector. I guess I should put it as a startup item. One of the reasons why I put the GPS on is because it just helps you enhance your soldering skills and builds when you want to level up. Because I actually have a course I'm taking on the Pilot Institute that teaches you how to build your own Cinewoop. I know these are considered like quadcopters, whatever they are. I think it's a quadcopter, and it's pretty intense and a lot more parts. It's more, I think it's a little bit more like the Gepard C35, like more robust drone and stable and solid and built like a rock. Like the parts are just phenomenal, and there's just so many. I think it's like the next step, and I haven't finished it yet, and I know that it's more complicated, but I stopped because I was like, oh my God, this is because the video is kind of old too. It's like, wait, no one's doing that anymore, and I kind of wanted it to. So that's why, and that's when I got the Pavo Pico. I was like, oh, it looks like more streamlined and modern. But anyway, let's get started. But also the GPS, if you're in a wooded area, you can. Oh, that's 9 feet. I know what that is. That's 6 feet, whatever the degrees are from there. Because sometimes, if you're in an area and you're flying your Pavo Pico, and then let's say I'm flying it in front of the house. I'm not supposed to fly in front of the house. I'm supposed to be able to see my drone. Anyway, but if let's say you're flying in front of the house and your visual observer doesn't look the other way to see the drone where it crashes, I'm like, oh shit, where did it crash? And then the GPS, as long as you keep it live and are able to see it, because you're right, the battery will die. Like, what's the purpose? But if you can get those last few seconds in before it shuts off, 9 feet from wherever you are, you're standing, or 6 feet, it's like, oh, I know what that is, and then you can just gauge that, or just, you know, to have the GPS experience and soldering, and just to understand the flight controller more before you actually level up and get to the real FPV drone. If that's any, I don't know, what's real. I thought these were real, and then you find out there's a better drone than that. Whoops, that's our wash. All right, enough wash, and let's get started. Let's go into Reflector. I hate when this happens. So this is normally Reflector by default. If you've seen my other videos, when I used to launch Reflector, it would launch normally, and you would have your phone and whatever, and it would just load as a phone, and you can see your background. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem to do that anymore. Why, I don't know. I guess I should write to the folks. Let me just move this out of the way. Write to the folks at Reflector and be like, yo, what the fuck? You know, you guys, don't you test your stuff before you launch it? There was a time when I actually did QA and I would test software before the launch, but now it's automated. It's an automated process. And then I go here to shrink it up. And this was probably an automated process, which is a bummer, because they took out the user experience by making it automated. All right, so then I was going to say, then what I'll do is I'll flip it from here, but you can't. See? It doesn't work that way. And it's messed up because they set it up like AirPlay. That's what AirPlay does. But the good thing about Reflector is that you can do what we're doing, which is adjust the screen, and you can't do that with AirPlay, which is a real bummer. I just need to wipe my glasses because I see some, see something in them. But I'll start off with the first 71 questions, and then we'll see. And then maybe on another video, I will go to another question. The science part you can't fuck up. If you're good at science, it's very black and white. Regulations, it's really tricky because a lot of times you're like, oh, that makes sense. It's that answer. But then you got to read it again and be like, oh, it's that, what's not, what is, what isn't. And so sometimes that can be confusing because regulations, it's like a little bubble. It's like a little biome that they created. And it's only, those answers only make sense in their reality and not your reality, that, whatever your reality is. All right, so then I have to flip this over, and I'll explain to you as we go through this probably 5-part series. Let's see, I don't know how many parts, I forget how many parts there are. We're gonna do force portrait. There we go. And then hopefully, oh nice, that works well. I'll screw it up, maybe make it bigger up there, and then move myself over, right? And then I believe I have, oh, I have to shrink this, hold on. I believe I have another, oh, there we are. I believe I have another one, another screen that I had set up for the camera. So that would be, because I see that camera, what you see, it's a little bit small, but I believe I have main camera rig, and I have mini 4 action. That's this one. And then we should have reflector 4. Yeah, there we are, so you can see me. So I have another camera set up for reflector only, so that we can just have the big screen experience. Remember, this is live. So if you're wondering, like, what the fuck's taking him so long? It's live. Nothing's planned. Nothing's scripted. Things just happen as is. Afix, I'm sorry if I missed you. It's funny. Welcome back to everything that glitches, or everyone that glitches. I'm thinking of like changing the name to the channel to everything, because you'll see things work when they work, and they don't work when they don't work. I'm like, I just can't. And everything, and the fact that everything happens in real time, it's just frustrating in that sense, because I don't expect, I just expect things to flow. And it kind of reminds me of a movie trailer where they show you the best parts of the movie, and then when you go in to see the movie, you're like, this sucks, right? And that's pretty much what happens on this channel a lot. It doesn't suck, but what happens is things break in real time. I'm calling daddy. I'm watching a lot of these people that think they're entitled and above the law, and they get arrested or stopped by the cops, and they're like, well, I have to call my father because you don't have a right to be doing this. Like, some of these videos are hilarious. So anyway, what I'm trying to do, in case you're wondering, is go to my channel and then go back to the live. I need to open up the chats so that in case Afix comes, sorry I missed you the last time, Afix, in case FPV Unknown comes, anyone comes, because it's not just, remember, this channel is for you. It's not just about me. And I like when I have my audience participation, even though there aren't many, but it's all right. And then I'll put this in case someone comes in who'll know, like, someone is live. And I'll just shrink this if it lets me. Oh, nice, sweet. And I'll move this over there, put the chat in the corner. Nobody puts a baby in the corner, and then I'll move this back over so that we can see. And let's see how good I am. See? And now this was a planned video. I would have recorded that and then get ready and then start recording, and I'm going to cut that out. But this is live. Who knows? Maybe I'll use it. Maybe I won't. I kind of like the lighting. And then I don't know if I have enough space. I'll probably just pull it down from YouTube. All right. So on that note, let's get started. We're going to go to test. And of course we lost it. Welcome back to Everything That Glitches. So I'll have to look back there and check every now and again, but I'll be looking here and reading the questions. So I will know from here moving forward. And of course, as you see, I had everything set up, literally, and then it just glitched out on me. All right, so we're going to go to tests. And this is a really cool app. The app comes with the book. You get the book, and then the book you have your Part 107. But there's a newer one that I ordered, right? And this comes in handy because it comes with the guide that has all the figures. And then this is here, ASA 2022. So the one I ordered is 2024. And you get 5 free tests. And this is what's recommended for you to read to get your Part 107. It's study and prepare. But this, I love it because I got my 5 free tests and the app. And you get your tests online. All right, so here we go. We're going to start. We'll exit the quiz. I guess it's been a while. And then I think you go to test again, I think. Huh. No. Hold on, I haven't done this in a while, so I can't. Exit quiz. Okay. Start. Interesting. Exit quiz. Maybe study, and then start. There we go. All right, so we'll see how well we do. I think we'll start with the shortest one because it does take a while, and then maybe we'll do loading and performance. Let's start with the 71 questions and see, and you guys can play along with me. So we'll do 71 today, 28 next live feed, 67, 95, and 97. That'll be a long video, but it'll help you guys understand because a lot of in the beginning, and on some of these questions are so frustrating, and you're like, I just want to fly my drone. I just want to fly my drone. What does this have to do with flying my drone? Honestly, nothing, and it just, but you have a better understanding and more confidence in what you're doing when you're, and respect for what's happening up there. So I guess if that makes any sense, I think I said it before. Let's get started. All right, so here we go. So this is apparently the learning part, and then you have an explanation, which would help you answer the question a little bit better. Who is responsible for determining whether a pilot is fit to fly for a particular flight, even though he or she holds a current medical certificate? I'm not really sure what that means, but the medical examiner, the FAA, or the pilot who's fit to fly. I guess you're responsible. You have to know whether or not you're worthy enough to fly this flight. I would think, right? And if you're not, you shouldn't fly. But sometimes you tell yourself, fuck it, I'm just going to fly. But no, there's an app and it asks you these questions. So that would be you. Hopefully. See, there you go. Then we go to the next question. 70 more questions to go. How should an SUAS pre-flight inspection be accomplished for the first flight of the day? Quick walk around with a check of gas and oil. Thorough and systematic means recommended by the manufacturer. Any sequence as determined by the pilot in command. I would say whatever is recommended by the manufacturer, hopefully. Let's see. Correct. That's good. These questions are a little bit easier. The aircraft call sign N169US will be spoken in this way. N would be November 169er unmanned. No. Oh yeah. Unmanned. I forget. November 169er. I know Sierra is correct. So it would be, so it would be Sierra. So now it's between the first one and the third one. November 169er Uniform Sierra. Okay. November 16. So the first one? Yes. It's a little bit confusing because I know I was looking for like a caps lock thingy. Everything done in caps. November 16. Oh yeah, because you can't say 169. It's just, you have to, everything's done 169er Bravo. Like that's how they talk. And then there's an explanation if you're not sure. Aircraft call signs should be spoken in their entirety using phonetic alphabet. Numbers are spoken. See, 169, not 169. Dude. All right. So anyway, next one. Number 4. Refer to Figure 20, Area 3. Here's Figure 20. It's a little small, and this is Figure 20 is this particular one. And there's also a book that you get, and inside the book, so now I have to find Figure 20, which is probably in the back, and they're all numbered. Figure 74, Figure 69, so now I have to find Figure 20. Let's see, Figure 20. I don't see it. There we go. And this is Figure 17. Figure 20 right here, and it matches. So this book comes in handy, and you'll have one in your exam when you go, if you decide to go, or do you mean not? And you just buy it so you can understand it better. Figure 20, so then I can go back and answer the question better because I can read it. All right, Figure 20, Area 3. Okay, well, I guess I have to let you guys see it too, which is at the bottom. What is the recommended communication procedure for landing? So that would be Area 3. And then we have to find the airport. And was it? I don't remember which airport they said, because the Currituck County Airport. Okay, so then we find the airport. This is tricky, but don't be intimidated by it. You'll get it. So now I have to find, there's Elizabeth. Actually, I find it on here because it's so small. And that's where the magnifying glass comes in. So now, because I can't see, even with my glasses, this thing is just too freaking small. And this one has a little light on it. Oh man. And of course the battery's dead, but that's okay. I would say the communication is 122.9. At least I hope. Let's see if they give that as an answer. 122.9. Okay, so I guess it would be the first one, right? And then voila. See, and then you'll understand how to read these maps. It's a little bit intimidating at first. Oh, you need to saw the map from here. But you'll get it. You'll understand it. It's like a silent movie with subtitles, and then eventually you're like, voila. And the good thing is that after you finish taking your exam, you get your Part 107, and you can fly your drone. But you can score like 1,000 on this exam and still not know how to fly your drone. So it's not about textbook smart, because I got my driver's license, now I can drive. No, you can't, because you still have to practice. So a lot of people can fly in their heads. And as you see, I got my Part 107, and I still can't fly FPV. So, it'll be one or the other, but just practice. But again, this is going to help you understand the airspace more and have more respect for it. And then they'll be like, wow, I get that. All right. What can help a pilot? Oh, here we go. What can help a pilot mitigate stress? Increasing stress tolerance, removing stress from personal life, breathing into a paper bag. That's a tricky one, because I'm going to say it's the second one, but if you increase stress tolerance, that could work too, right? So some of these answers are tricky. And like, how do you remove stress from your life? Tell everybody to go fuck themselves. There's this new channel I've been watching. He's like, how to say to your boss, like, you're crazy in corporate. I'll leave a link to that. It's funny. Corporate bullshit. All right, so I'm going to say removing stress from your personal life. See, it's correct, but sometimes some of the answers could work, All right, let's see, next one. I guess I'll just put this here. You are a pilot. I'll read here. You are a pilot in command for your co-op energy service provider. You plan to use your unmanned aircraft to inspect power lines in the remote area, 15 hours away from your home. After you drive, fatigue impacts your abilities to complete your assignment on time. What kind of fatigue is this? There's acute and there's chronic. I guess acute is short term, chronic is long term. In this case, I'm fatigued from the drive, right? So that would mean that I am, of course, I'm exhausted. See, some of these make sense, like exhaustion, or so it would be acute fatigue because it's hopefully it's temporary, or if you have diabetes, then it's varies. So like I don't know, what answer is it? I don't know, or maybe if I didn't have a steak, or maybe I stayed up late and I'm hungover. So like there's different, or maybe I'm just exhausted. I don't know. I wonder if it'll let me. Nope, it won't let me. I'm gonna say acute. Acute. He's so cute. He's a little cute little cutie bite. All right, so there we go. What anecdotal phrase can help reverse the hazardous attitude of anti-authority, like screw the man, I'm the man, rules do not apply to me? Now this is a tricky question because what anecdotal phrase can help reverse? So reverse means stop it and make it from coming back. So that's a tricky question because some people might answer this like rules do not apply in this situation. So like, oh yeah, that would be it. No, remember it says what anecdotal phrase can help reverse, right? So we want to reverse it. In this case, it would be follow the rules. And you get a lot of questions like that. I was going to go from here. It's right there. Follow the rules. You get a lot of questions like that on there. See? Ding, ding. It's correct. But these are easier questions. The more complicated questions are in regulations and things, and weather. Weather is the freaking worst. All right. What precautions should a remote pilot in command take to prevent possible in-flight emergencies when using lithium-based batteries? What precautions should a remote pilot take to prevent possible in-flight emergencies when using store the batteries in a freezer to allow proper recharging. Follow the manufacturer's recommendations for safe battery handling. Allow the battery to charge until it reaches a minimum temperature of 100 degrees Celsius. I would say the middle one. I mean, because everyone has a smart charger today. So something like, just follow the manufacturer's recommendation, which is what you try to do, right? At least you try. All right. What is the best way for the remote pilot in command to minimize the risk of radio frequency interference during the small unmanned aircraft operations? So I want to minimize the risk of radio frequency. Hold on, let me think about that. Never transmit on aviation frequency ranges during flight operations. Monitor frequency use with a spectral analyzer. Avoid the use of cell phones in the vicinity of control stations. So I would say the last one, right? Monitor frequency, because I mean they always tell you don't, but I don't know the answer to this one, to be honest with you. Monitor frequency use with a spectrum. I mean, I just want to fly my drone. Like what the like literally? What does this got to do with anything? Okay, never transmit on aviation frequency ranges during flight operations. I maybe the first one. I don't know. I'm gonna say the first one. Nope. Incorrect. See, I even got the wrong sound. Okay, let's see explanation. Let's see what they say. Remote pilots should monitor the appropriate aviation frequency, such as CTAF, during the flight operations and make announcements concerning the best way to avoid frequency interference is to check local. Okay, so monitor frequencies with us. Okay, so let's try that. Yeah, so we have to check. But how many of you guys check? I don't check. I just go now entering entry zone, ready to take off. That's it. I don't monitor the frequency. I don't have one of those a ham radio. I have a ham sandwich for lunch, but I don't have a ham radio. Apparently they're illegal, or you have to need like a special license for them. All right, next question. And believe it or not, these questions are on the test. What action should the operator of a small unmanned aircraft take if the manufacturer does not provide information about scheduled maintenance? The operator should contact the FAA for a minimum equipment list. The operator should establish a scheduled maintenance protocol. The operator should contact the NTSB for, this is the easy one, I'm going to say, hopefully that one. Yeah. All right. Next one. When a stressful situation is encountered in flight, an abnormal increase in the volume of air breathed in and out. These questions are killing me, man. Can cause a condition known as, I don't even know what we call that, hyperventilation. Okay. Yes, as I was saying, breathe in, breathe out. Some of these questions might drive you crazy. All right. And remember, there's a lot. This is only 71 out of like 300 or something. Absence of the sky condition and visibility of the ATIS broadcast indicates that weather conditions are at or above VRF minimums. The sky condition is clear and visibility is unrestricted. The ceiling is at least 5,000 feet and visibility 5 miles. Maybe the last one? Let's see. I might get this one wrong. I got it right. The last one. And then we'll need an explanation. The absence of sky condition or ceiling, which is like, basically if it's beautiful out, it's a clear sky, right? Why can't they just say that? Nobody talks like that. No one talks like this. Indicates a ceiling of 5,000 feet or above and visibility of 5 miles or more. All right, so let's say, I don't know, I just can't. All right. It's just beautiful out. Why can't we just say it's partly cloudy, chance of showers in the afternoon? What services will the FSS provide? Fuel pricing, assistance during an emergency, clearance to taxi for takeoff. So air traffic control, we would know, would do that. Definitely it's not fuel pricing. And so I would say assistance during an emergency. And in case you're wondering, there's an explanation here. FSS is an air traffic facility that provides pilot briefings and route communications. FSS takes weather observations, issues airport advisories, it's right here, I forgot. Anyway, so on. And you would just read it and then, and then you're like, oh, I know that. Oh, I know. It's like, no, you don't know that. All right. A common cause of small unmanned aircraft flyaway event is frequency interference, loss of GPS, person standing close to control station antenna. Don't stand too close to me. I would say frequency interference. I've seen that happen a lot, and you know that if you fly in any of the DJI products, I've lost signal, and it's like an oh shit, call it an oh shit moment, because you panic, and if you lost signal, it can cause a flyaway if you don't get your connection back. The drone is supposed to return back home. So when it flies away, it loses signal, it's supposed to come back home. And sometimes it's like, come back to me. It just keeps going. It just forgets about everything. And there was a time when I had another oh shit moment where I lost the signal, and another time where there was no return home button. It was like the thing was glitchy and something disappeared. I was like, oh shit, where? And thankfully I was able to fly the drone back, but the drone was nowhere to be seen on my remote controller thing. So that does happen, and that's a scary moment. You panic. But thankfully I was over the water though. I would have been more, my heart would have gone to my stomach if it was in a suburban or city, like if it was a Hoboken or something. Okay, next question. A common cause. Oh, so that would be frequency interference, I'd say. Yeah. Okay. And some of these answers you might know. It's some regulations one that it's more difficult. Which would most likely result in hyperventilation? Insufficient oxygen, excessive carbon monoxide, insufficient carbon monoxide. Let's see if they get that right. We got it right. I can't breathe. I don't know what's happening to me, man. I can breathe again. All right. An accurate perception and understanding of all risk element factors and conditions is, I would say judgment, but it's probably situational awareness because they like to use these fancy words. All right. Next one. An air traffic control radar facility issues the following advisories to a manned aircraft pilot flying north in a calm wind unmanned aircraft at 9 o'clock. So 9 o'clock would be west, Okay. 2 miles. Where should the remote pilot in command, also visual observer and crew, if applicable, look for this traffic? So wait, unmanned aircraft operations. So you're flying your drone at 9 o'clock. Where else should they look? I would say maybe east. I don't know, because if the activity is happening at 9 o'clock, right? 2 miles away. Where should the remote pilot in command? So if 9 o'clock is where it's happening. So I guess you would look east. I don't know. This is so confusing. Whoops! I was about to press north. Maybe it's north. All right. So let's see. East. It's east. See, because you always, it's like the opposite. East is west, and so if you're east, you're gonna look west. If you're west, no. If you're east, yeah. If you're east, you're gonna look west, and if you're west, you're gonna look east. Because I was just doing this with my hands here. Hey, need your help? Yes, we can help you after the exam. What kind of help do you need? We have Durval Gaming. Welcome to Durval Gaming. Okay, next question. How to make asteroid shot on Mini 2? Well, hopefully it's the same thing on the DJI remote, right? I have, if you go to I'll send you the link to the video, but hopefully, because on the Mini 2 I have the Mini 3, and I'm just waiting for the software updates to be pushed to the Mavic series, because it's the same, hold on, YouTube, it's the same thing, and no need to, because as you can see, I'm already having issues with the other drones that I have, that if you don't fly them enough, I'm sending back. I just sent another battery back to DJI, and they're repairing it for free. So apparently if you don't fly all your drones, the batteries just go kapoots. And that's $100 battery, $130. All right, so let's, what did he say? Asteroid? Hold on one second. There we go. Hopefully this video will help you, and you'll be able to do the asteroid, but it's in this video, I've done it. And then once they throw the other effects to the other drones, you should be able to. It's in the menu. Reminds me of the time when I went to this sandwich place, and I said to the guy, I said, then they would wait for someone like me to go in there. I said, hi, what do you recommend? He's like, well, what do you want? I said, I just want a sandwich. He's like, well, what kind of sandwich? I said, well, what do you recommend? What's a good sandwich? He's like, well, they're all good sandwiches. I'm like, yeah, but what do you recommend? It's my first time here. He's like, well, look at the menu. I'm like, yeah, but you make them all the time. I'm like, what's that you're making? He's like, a sandwich. I'm like, yeah, I know it's a sandwich, but what's it called? He's like, it's one of the sandwiches on the menu. I'm like, you fucking shitting me? And then I was like, all right, and the menu was in Italian, and I couldn't read Italian. He was like, I'll have the fucici. He's like, we don't have a fucici. I was like, this one right there. Can't you see? He's like, well, I don't see where you're pointing. You have to tell me what sandwich you want. I'm like, what the fuck? Are they like the fucici? He's like, we don't have fucici sandwich, my friend. What kind of sandwich can I get for you? And this guy was popular for this because they would wait for someone like me to go in there that couldn't pronounce the name of the sandwich or didn't know what they want. And it was my first time there, because normally when you go to a nice restaurant, what do you recommend? They're like, oh, would you like to hear our specials? No, not here. They just I don't have fucici. I was like, oh, I don't know, fukuda, focaccia. It was like, we don't have. And finally, it was a focaccia. I was like, oh, okay, yes, we have focaccia. What would you like on your focaccia? I was like, I don't know, I'll have that stuff. He's like, what stuff? We have a lot of stuff for the sandwiches. I was like, forget about it. Anyway, so in this case, watch the video. I have a 360 photo, but not any video option. So is there any hack or no? There's no hack. The only hack I could say is, I don't know, because I don't think the Mini 2 is I don't think the Mini 2 is a drone that they let you fly. I'll check and see if it's available on the Pro remote, and then you would know what is there, what you would get. I should charge this. I just have to fly it. But yeah, so I'm glad I didn't get the Mini 4 because then I just charged the batteries to the Mini 3 because I think I still have the Care Refresh on it, so I should be good if it's a dud with the batteries. But so far I've had 2 batteries sent back to DJI, and thank you DJI for taking the batteries back. Connection. Mavic 3, Mavic 3 Pro, Mavic Classic, Mini 3 Pro. What did he say? No, we have Air 2S, and that's it. Yep, those are the only drones we can fly. Unfortunately, sorry about that. I wish I could help, but I've learned to only buy as many drones as you can fly. All right, so now back to the quiz. All right, sorry about that, but continue watching if you like. Hopefully you took your trust exam. If not, that's okay. I'll leave a link to that in the description. All right, an extreme case of a pilot getting behind the aircraft can lead to the operational pitfall of loss of situational awareness, loss of workload, internal stress. Wait, an extreme case of a pilot getting behind the aircraft. I don't know. I would say, you're welcome. Glad to be of assistance to you. Maybe L. I mean, not L. L to what? First one. Yeah. Okay, so they use a lot of language like that there. You're welcome. Yeah, we love you. Thanks. Appreciate it. All right. An effective use of all available resources, human, hardware, and information prior to and during flight to ensure the successful outcome of the operation is called. Now, this one's like reverse because it's a definition, which means is that these are words that should be at the top, but instead at the bottom. So you pick which one. Risk management. I would say resources. Human. When they said human, I would say crew. So it would be crew. Crew, resource management, safety management system. It would be safety if there was no crew, I guess. So forget about the crew and we forget about safety and let's add crew. So some of this you just have to apply some basic logic to. Hopefully. Yeah. All right. Not all the time though. Aeronautical decision making, ADM, in case you'll see a lot of acronyms, right? Aeronautical decision making, ADM, because somebody you're like, what the fuck is ADM or ABS and stuff like that, can be described as the pilot's ability, right? So let's say ADM can be described as the pilot's ability for, and there's of course sound judgment and good decision making, making quick decide no, interrupting dangerous no. I would say the first one. All right. Yeah. And then next one. And then, all right. While preparing for your small unmanned aircraft for flight, you notice that one of the propeller blades has a nick. What should you do? Now, this is a tricky question because we've all had propellers with nicks on them, right? And you're like, it's still got some more flights in it. And which is fine, it's normal. But on the test, it doesn't work that way. You have to, if a nick is less than 1/4 the length of the blade, it is safe to operate without replacement. Remove and replace the propeller. Consult manufacturer guidelines for repair. Yeah, so, and of course, they're not the last one. Repair by filing. So there's a lot of safety. So, like the average person would be like, oh, it's okay, it's good, the first one. But when FAA is all about safety. So in this case, it's going to be the second one, right? All right, let's see if we can get next one. When adapting crew resource management, CRM, another acronym, which is crew, concepts to operation of small unmanned aircraft, CRM, crew resource management, must be integrated into the communications only, the flight portion only, all phases of operation, of course. There's no a la carte when you're doing management. It's all phases of the operation. All right, next one. Oh, I hate these, the long ones, because you have to read them because sometimes they throw in trick words in there to make you think it's one thing, but it's another. All right. Oh, wow. Interesting. Like I could read that without my glasses because the font is big. A local TV station has hired a remote pilot to operate their small unmanned aircraft to cover breaking news stories. The remote pilot has had multiple near misses. That sounds like me. Lewis has had multiple near misses with obstacles on the ground and 2 small unmanned aircraft accidents. That sounds just like me. Except I never hit an aircraft. What would be a solution for the news station to improve their operation safety culture if they have Lewis working for them? No, that's why I only fly DJI. I'm still learning FPV. DJI is just for anyone can fly it. I mean, you've seen the video. My kids fly it, like literally. All right. So the news station should implement a policy of no more than 5 crash incidences within 6 months. The news station does not need. Hold on, I'll move this out of the way. The news station does not need to make any changes. No, the news station should recognize hazardous attitudes and situations, and develop standard operating procedures that emphasize safety. I would say that one. They should have like a 0 policy of recklessness, because otherwise you're a liability. It's like having a pit bull that's only friendly with you but bites everyone else at the park. It's like a liability. All right, if you have someone like that. All right, flying for you. Upon GPS signal loss, the remote pilot should immediately contact air traffic control and declare an emergency. Perform the planned loss link contingency procedure. Operate the small unmanned aircraft normally, noting to account for any mode of control changes that occur if GPS is lost. Now, we've all been down this road before. I'm going to say the answer is the last one, but don't get me wrong. Like, when I lose the signal, and if you lose GPS, it's supposed to come back home, but how do you know where home is if you lose GPS? You have an oh shit moment, and this is why you have to keep your drone within visual line of sight, because if you lose GPS and you don't see where your drone is, and I've done some live videos where I'm flying my drone, and I lose the signal, or it stopped in midair. I was doing a what do they call a waypoint route, and it was flying. It was like 3,000 feet away or whatever, but it was this drone, and this drone you can see from far away because it's so big. This one, when I was doing the waypoint, and it was an oh shit moment because it stopped. I'm like, oh my god, where's my drone? And thankfully I kept an eye on it, and I was able to see it, and I flew it back. And if I had flown it and there were buildings in the way and I lost the signal and you couldn't see it on your controller, you're shit out of luck, because one, you didn't know where the drone is, and you just hope it doesn't crash into someone. So I would say they'll probably want you to continue, but you can't. It's hard, like, I don't even know why they put a question like that on there. All right, so anyway, next one. What action should be taken by the remote pilot in control, or command, during a small unmanned aircraft flyaway event? What action? All right, immediately notify NTSB, immediately notify all crew members, bystanders, and ATC, immediately notify all crew members, law enforcement personnel. So in this case, I know the answer to this one because you don't have to notify law enforcement. So it would be the second one. Just if applicable, you would notify air traffic control, like if you hit a plane. But if it just flew away, you just notify the people nearby. And then pray that the drone doesn't land in someone's backyard or on the highway and cause a 3-car or multi-car pileup. All right, next one. No, I hate these because these are tricky. All right. An air traffic control radar facility issues the following advisory to a pilot flying on the heading of pilot flying. So you're the pilot flying on the heading of 90 degrees. This is where this thing comes in. I'll leave a link to the description. And 90 degrees, oh, it would be east, okay, which was also known as 3 o'clock. Unmanned aircraft operations, 3 o'clock, okay, see, like I said, 2 miles. Where should the remote pilot in command and also visual observer and crew, if applicable, look for this traffic in reference to the small unmanned aircraft? Okay, hold on. Unmanned aircraft operations, 3 o'clock. So you're at 3 o'clock, which is east. I was going to say west. I'm about at 90 degrees. Maybe west? I don't know. I'm going to try west, but I'm not. This one's a tricky one. Okay, unmanned aircraft, 90 degrees, right? Hold on, unmanned aircraft, 90 degrees, 3 o'clock. I don't know. North, maybe. Yeah, north. And let's see what the explanation is. 90 degrees east, which I was right about that. Traffic located at 3 o'clock position, right, would be 90 degrees, right to the nose, south of the aircraft. If the UAS is being operated to the south of the aircraft itself is to the north of the operation. So confusing. Basically, you just get the fuck out of the way and, move your drone. And you shouldn't be flying within the same altitude as an aircraft. That's why they have these land approval thingies. And the closer you get to the airport, the lower and more restrictions you have to how high you could go. So anyway, but sometimes it happens, like especially where I live, I can see aircraft flying really low, and I get nervous. I have like an oh shit moment, but I'm not thinking like, oh my god, American Airlines at 3 o'clock. I'm like, oh shit, look, there's a plane over there, and you don't have your bearings of east, south, or west unless the sun's shining. So as a drone pilot, you're like, oh my god, there's a plane to your left or to your right. This is how civilians think, over there, look out. Quickly. All right, next one. All right, Automatic Terminal Information Service, ATIS, is the continuous broadcasting of recorded information concerning, kind of like what they send out in space in the satellite. Pilots of radar identification aircraft whose aircraft is in danger now. Non-essential information to reduce frequency congestion. Non-control information in selected high anti-activity terminal. I would say 3. I mean, not 3, 2. Oh, 3. I meant 3. 3. Sorry, I pressed the wrong one. I was confused. Non-control information in selected high activity terminal areas. Non-control information. This is when you know you're tired. This is where that fatigue question comes in. Should you take your test if you're tired? No, don't, because you'll, as you can see, your brain fog. As a pilot flying for long periods in hot summer temperatures increases the susceptibility of dehydration, since the dry air at altitude tends to increase the rate of water loss from the body. Moist air temperature decreases with altitude. As I would say, the first one, dry air at altitude tends. Which statement is not correct concerning crew resource management in small unmanned aircraft operations? Crews cannot... Oh, this one's a tricky one. Sorry. And a fucked up one, too, if you ask me. Crew members cannot, under any circumstances, challenge the decisions of the remote pilot in command. Individuals who are exhibiting signs of hazardous attitudes should be approached about the issue. The remote pilot in command and all crew members should communicate any observed hazards or concerns to one another. Okay, now read the question again, right? Which statement is not correct concerning crew resource management in small... Sorry, is not correct. See, not, that's a trick question. And I would say the first one. Crew members cannot, under any circumstances, challenge the decision of the remote pilot. And I was like, hell yeah. You, if you're like, well, if it's a company, the boss might be like, don't tell me, I know. But in this case, it's not correct. You can, but you can't in the real world, because you know how some bosses can be really douchebags. All right. During the pre-flight inspection, who is responsible for determining the aircraft is safe for flight? So, in order, of course, you, right? The remote pilot in command, the owner or operator. You would think, like, because I own the drone, right? I say, hey, AFIX, here, take the drone, you can fly it. Just because Lewis says you can fly it doesn't mean that it's good to go. You're responsible. So as soon as the controls are in your hand, you have to be responsible and check it. And if I say, oh, don't worry, it's good to go, I just, charge the batteries and you're okay. Oh, I just put new props on, it's good to go. Never go by someone's word. You are responsible. So if you crash it, you can't say, oh, but he said it was good. It doesn't work like that. The remote pilot, so that would be the remote pilot in command. Or, as they say, the person operating the drone. Remote pilot in command, person operating drone, same thing. The correct method for stating 4,500 feet MSL to ATC is 4,500, 4.5, 4,500 feet. I think the last one, 45, 4,500, 4,500 feet. 4,045, maybe the bottom one? The top one, okay. 4,000, I remember I was saying everything's done phonetically. You can't say 45, it has to be 4,500, like that. Alright, even though I told you guys about it, even I got it wrong because I was just too tired to think. Alright, there's no excuse though. You can't say I was too tired, because it doesn't, you'll still fail the exam and they don't really care. Alright, when preparing for a night flight, what should a small unmanned aircraft, right, pilot be aware of after assembling and conducting a pre-flight of an aircraft while using a bright flashlight or work light? Remember, I think I said this in one of my last videos. Once adapted to darkness, a person's eyes are relatively immune to bright lights? No. It takes approximately 30 minutes for a person's eyes to fully adapt to darkness. Correct. A person should use a flashlight equipped with LED lights. No, it doesn't matter if it's LEDs. So once you are in the dark and you shine bright white lights in your eyes, it takes about 30 minutes for you to adjust. And that's why they suggest using a red light instead of a white light, so that you can still find all of your stuff, which I have a really cool, I hope it's still here. Nope. The light, where is my light? I'll go get it. It's really cool. Remember, this is live, so it's unscripted, unplanned, and It's a really cool light. It's the kind of light you want when you take your when you fly at night. And I use it when I fly at night, believe it or not. One second. Whoops, you seen the light went on. It went off. Went on. Went off. And this is a great light because it leaves your hands to be free. Or if you're doing crawl space or doing splunking, so light on. Or you can set it to you could set it so it's not motion activated. But see, like that. And it also has white. So if you need white, you're not tied to the red. Turn that off. Red. Now we're white again. See? Really bright too. I forget how many lumens it is, but I had to charge it because I used it in my last it's been a while, but I love that lamp. So again, it takes 30 minutes. You didn't know that, right? I didn't know that either until I took my part 107. But it made such a big difference when doing a night flight. All right, when flying Hawk N666CB, the proper phraseology for initial contact with witted ATC tower is Hawk 66666 Charlie Bravo 5 nautical miles west of the airport. Request permission to enter Class D airspace for unmanned aircraft operations below 400 AGL 3 NM nautical miles west of the airport. Witted Hawk 666CB, and definitely not that. It's always like a Charlie or Bravo. Charlie, Bravo, and it's definitely not the bottom one because they didn't put it in caps, and you always have to speak in Charlie, Bravo, 6. So this one I know only because of the way it's written, but otherwise, I'm like, I don't know. So sometimes if you don't know, just look for the clues in the way it's written. What action should the remote pilot in command take upon GPS signal loss? Oh shit, what the fuck? Perform the planned flyaway emergency procedure? I don't know if there is one. Follow normal small aircraft operation procedures, noting any mode or control changes that normally occur if GPS is lost. Land the unmanned aircraft immediately prior to loss of control. No, it's loss of signal, not loss of control. So they get you on those trick questions. And if I lost control, I'm not going to be able to land it anyway. And I would pray that my return home button is there, because there have been times when, only one time, when I was in Terrytown and it disappeared. All right, next one. When setting up the location of the control station and placement of crew members for an afternoon flight, which of the following would be most appropriate for ensuring that vision is not impaired by the environment? Interesting. The operation should be set up so that the remote pilot and command crew members face east. Station of crew members afternoon. So if your afternoon flight, the sun's setting in the west, so you would, hold on. The operation should be set up so the crew members face west. No, it's in the afternoon, so if you're facing west, the sun would be in your eyes. The operation should be set up so that the remote pilot and command crew members are facing reflective objects in the area. Yeah, you can't see with the light in your eyes. I can't see. So I would say the answer to that, facing east. Yeah, east. So the sun won't be in your eyes if it's in the afternoon and you're looking east because the sun is setting towards the west. Haha. That's a lot of trick questions. So you have to really think those through though. All right. Oh, I hate these. All right. Figure 22, area 2, and figure 31. Figure 22, area 2, and figure 31. At Cordilleran, which frequency should be used as a common traffic advisory? Oh, that means it's like a split. It's like a double map, but like one part and two, I think. Hold on. So we have to find the airport and the CTAF frequency monitor airport. Okay. Yeah, so most likely. So now we go to communications. You see right there? Right here at the bottom. Communications, CTAF, Unicom. 122.8. I gotta put that in my radio. I don't have a radio. I just fly my drone. Alright, so let's see. I just fly. I just want to fly. And that's why the Part 107 exam is a little, what do they call it? What's the right word? Discouraging, right? Because after you get your Part 107, you're back to flying the way you were before you had your Part 107, right? So, I don't know. But it gives you a whole level of respect and appreciation for what's going on up there, and you're that much more of a responsible and I would say safe and reliable pilot. All right, so on that note, continue on. And I need to do this so I can renew my do my recurrence in September, but I'll probably do it earlier. Because my plan is to do one of these a week, and then when I'm done with this, and then when I'm done with the FAA version, and when I'm done with the online course, and when I'm done reading the book, it'll probably be like May or June. Because remember, I'm just going to pace myself. All right. What is the proper response by the remote pilot in command if experiencing a lost link situation? Notify crew and ATC if applicable while executing the brief lost link procedure. Guys, we got to team up. We got to figure out what to do if there's a lost link with my drone. No, you're just like, oh shit, where the fuck just happened? Wait for the unit to reestablish link while notifying the local law enforcement. No, remember where they said you don't have to notify law enforcement unless there's an accident. Turning the control station off, and then of all things, I've thought about that, but I haven't done it yet. I'm like, what would happen if I turned off the remote controller? I don't know. I don't want to know. I'm gonna say it's the first one, only because none of the other two make sense. And a lot of times it's common sense. All right. Has standard operating practice all inbound and local traffic approaching or near an airport without a control tower should continuously monitor the appropriate facility from a distance of, unless you're a Superman and have supervision, I would say the average person can only see about 10 miles. I would say 10. This one's just common sense. I can see for miles and miles. I can see for miles. Okay, so a lot of these questions, but then remember, these questions, some of them get really complex when they get to the maps. What is the best way, or airspace, what is the best way to mitigate risk? SMS plan, simple man, SISAM, I don't know, SMS plan, weekly meetings. Yeah, if you're in corporate, establishing an operational procedure guideline. I would say the last one. Okay. Under what condition should the operator of a small unmanned aircraft establish a scheduled maintenance protocol? Basically, they're just saying, how often should you take care of your drone, right? Why can't they just say that? Like, that's why they just freaking got it. I can't. When the manufacturer does not provide, or under what condition should the operator of a small unmanned aircraft establish a scheduled maintenance protocol? No, the FAA is not responsible for you and your drone. Small unmanned aircraft systems do not require maintenance. I would say the first one. They all require maintenance. As for what kind of maintenance, that depends on the kind of drone, right? Whether it's FPV, the batteries, checking your wires because a lot of stuff is exposed, whether it's the white glove treatment of drones, the DJI, making sure your firmware is updated, stuff like that. I hate these questions. All right. Refer to Figure 26, Area 2. What is the recommended communication procedure when operating in the vicinity of Cooperstown Airport? So, Figure 26, Area 2. Figure 26, Area 2. 20. 24. So this is Figure 26. And now I have to find Area 2. Once I find it on here, communication procedure, Cooperstown Airport, 1229. All right, so now I have to read the question, and then I'll let you guys look on the map. Broadcast intentions when 10 miles out, and monitor transmissions on TAF, multicom frequency 1229 megahertz. It's definitely not 1228. It's between the first one and the bottom one. Circle the airport and a left turn prior to entering traffic around. No, I would say it's the first one. And here's the map. And Area 2 is over here in the right hand side in the corner. And then this is Cooperstown Airport, and then AWOS 3 as one radio frequency, and then we have 1229 for the tip of CTAF. And then hopefully that's the correct answer. And then we press it, and voila. And then now we go back. Which of the following events is considered a flyaway? Flyaway. Loss of link between the remote pilot in control and unmanned aircraft. Loss of communication link between remote pilot in command and air traffic control? No. Unmanned aircraft does not respond to control inputs and does not execute known lost link maneuvers. So I would say it's the last one. Which of the following events is considered a flyaway? Flyaway. The last one. Because there's no response. I can't get it back. Basically out of a drone, and hopefully you have care refresh. And if you, I can't say get it, because even if it flies away over the ocean, you crash it, whatever. Oh wait, if you have DJI drone, DJI will replace it for free as long as you have care refresh. You can't do that with those drones. All right. Fatigue can either be, remember, we talked about this in the beginning, physiological or psychological, physical or mental, acute or chronic. Acute means short, chronic is long, like chronic back pain, right? An acute headache, an acute infection, which is like small and short. All right. So on that note, we're gonna go. All right, Chico. Next one. What can affect your performance? Prescription medications, over-the-counter medications, over-the-counter and prescription medications. So most likely both can affect your performance. So in this case, it would be the last one. Okay. A long one. I gotta read it. You have been hired as a remote pilot in command by a local TV news station to film breaking news with a small unmanned aircraft. You express a safety concern, and the station manager has instructed you to fly first, ask questions later. What type of hazardous attitude does this attitude represent? shitty boss. Okay, invulnerability, impulsivity, machoism. Machoism would be, look what I could do. Invulnerability, definitely not. It would be just impulsivity. Look what I could do. Remember Stuart from Mad TV? The man child. All right, next one. Another long question. That means you got to read it. I like the short ones. You can just like skim through it and then you're like, I got this. All right, when setting up the location of the control station and placement of crew members for a flight over snowy terrain, which of the following would be most appropriate for measuring that vision is not impaired by the environment? So similar question to before, so which is weird, but the operation should be set up so that the crew members are most comfortable. Oh yeah, make sure they have everyone has lunch. The operation should be set up so that the crew members will experience the minimum glare of snow. No, there should be no glare. And as you know, anyone who knows when they've flown at sunrise or like late sunset to capture the sunset, when there's glare, you can't see, or like you're blinded for a little bit. And when your drone is in the middle of the sun, when there's like a solar eclipse, it's with your drone and not the moon and the sun, you can't see anything. So definitely you get like this, like I can't see. The operation should be set up so that crew members face the direction in which the terrain most closely matches the color. No. The operation should be set up so that the crew members will experience, so most likely that one. The second one, the operation should be set up so that the crew members are so the second one. It would not be the second one if the third one was not an option. So sometimes you have to read all of them before you just jump to an answer. All right, next one. Which of the following lithium batteries should not be used? I would say use them all. Do like I do. Burn them into the ground. All right. Which of the I would say a partially discharged battery that is warm from recent prior use. Yes, I would say. They always say don't use a warm battery or don't charge it, but let's see what the other ones are. A new battery that has only been charged once. Several charging cycles are required prior. No, never heard of that. They do always say use the battery, let it drain, and then charge it. Don't never use fresh batteries, rechargeables. A battery with a bulge on one of the sides if it's a case. Yeah, I don't know if you guys, sometimes in the beginning, what I was doing, I was using a digital caliper and seeing how much bulge the battery had in the beginning, and then by the end of the week when I was flying, my batteries were bulging. And that's why I got these new smoke detectors. So because I thought if you're not careful enough, you could burn your house down. And I remember when I went to the hobby store to get a battery for the car, some woman came in there with her kids, and they said the battery blew up in their basement. And I don't know what the kids did, but the guy knew what that it was poor care of the battery. So take care of your batteries. I have a video coming out of that storage case thing that will help you store your batteries so you don't anyway. Hazardous attitudes occur to every pilot to some degree at some time. What are some of these hazardous attitudes? Poor risk management and lack of stress management, anti-authority, impulsivity, a macho, resignation and invulnerability, poor situational awareness, snap judgments, and lack of a decision-making process. Probably that too, but let's try. We have to remember, use the words that they use, because they use words like macho, resignation, invulnerability, anti-authority, if you recall the last questions. At least I'm thinking like that. I could say poor situational awareness, snap judgments, right? Don't tell me what to do. Or lack of decision making. That could be too. But we're going back to their vocabulary. We say everything in corporate. which will almost always affect your ability to fly. Over the counter, antihistamines, antibiotics, no, not antibiotics, prescription, no, hold on, over the counter, I'm going to say the last one, but it could be the first one. But I'm going to say the last one only because it's not just one kind of drug. You could have prescription drugs, right? And antihistamines too. Some of them make you drowsy. Yeah. So that's a tricky question but then you got to think about there are some prescription drugs that have side effects, right? They say don't drive while taking this, don't do this while doing that. And then you have over-the-counter drugs that have the same thing. So it's not just exclusive to one particular drug. What anecdotal phrase can help reverse the hazardous attitude of impulsivity? It could happen to me. What anecdotal phrase can help reverse? So basically help stop of being impulsive. Like just do it anyway. Okay. Do it quickly. Not so fast. Think first. Probably the last one. If you stop, not so fast, think first, and you're not being impulsive, right? All right, so let's see. Next one. Only 21 more questions, or 20. Let me think about it. All right. Oh, no, this was another one. Inbound to an airport with no tower, FSS, or Unicom in operations, a pilot should self-announce on multicom frequency. This one I don't remember, but I think it was 122.9. There's a frequency where you're supposed to announce when there's no air traffic control tower, and I forget because, as you know, hello air traffic control. This is Captain Louis speaking. I'm just coming in with my Pablo Pico. I just need clearance and okay to land. And like, really? Come on, guys. Really? What were they thinking? What were they thinking? It's a form of Marxism for guys that want to fly their drones recreationally. All right. Anyway, I think it's number 9. Number 122.9, I think. Yes. 9. All right. Fatigue can be recognized. Really? You look tired. You look under the weather. All right. Fatigue can be recognized easily by an experienced pilot as being in an impaired state by an ability to overcome sleep deprivation. I would say the second one. I mean, anyone can. You don't have to be an experienced pilot to recognize fatigue. But remember, fatigue can be recognized as being in an impaired state, which is you're not at your best. Which, Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 3:19 a.m.
Going to bed late. Apparently, I don't know if you knew this, but if anyone knows this, apparently, driving when you're tired is the same as. It's considered the same as it holds merit to the same accountability as driving while intoxicated. I didn't know that. So if you ever get pulled over, don't say, "Oh yeah, I didn't realize I was speeding. I'm just tired." As soon as you say you're tired, you're fucked. I learned that from one of my friends. Or you could be like a sovereign citizen and say, "I don't answer questions." All right, during your pre-flight inspection, you discover that the casing of your small unmanned aircraft battery has expanded beyond its normal dimensions. I'm tired. What action should you take? Throw it away with your household trash? Use it as long as it will still hold a charge? You've seen my videos. I've done that before. It's just like, I just squeeze it in. It's just got to get in there. I got to use it. I'm not spending another $50 on batteries. So I don't see that one in there. All right. Follow the manufacturer's. I have to follow the manufacturer's guidance, which is on page. Yeah, it's right there. And it says, yeah. Yes, we got that one right. There we go. Bullshit. All right. So anyway, next one. There we go. A visual observer notices a manned aircraft approaching the area in which the small unmanned aircraft operations are taking place, flying just north of the area from west to east. What call could the remote pilot in command visual observer make to CTAF? Basically, what call could Karen make to alert the manned pilot? These are tricky. All right, so Zephyrus is traffic unmanned aircraft X-ray Yankee Zulu operating 5 nautical miles south of the airport at or below 400 AGL. I mean, it's the government. There is no at or below, right? It's got to be this or that. That's what I'm thinking. That's, you're thinking like, oh, it should be around there or there. No, like thinking for at least I would think like if I was working at traffic control. What do you mean? Oh, all right. So maybe I don't know. All right. So next one. The was traffic unmanned aircraft at 3:00 of manned aircraft in the area. So maybe the last one. Let's see. The first traffic unmanned aircraft X-ray Yankee Zulu to send. I don't even know. Hold on. Look for us at your 3:00 position. We are about a mile south. Oops. I got it wrong, so it was that one. See, I said it was the first one, but I wasn't sure because either or, usually there is no either or, like in these, it's very black and white, but apparently not. All right, so anyway, so that's that one. All right, it's the first one. All right, but we're still doing pretty good. All right, in which of the following scenarios is a remote pilot not required to perform a pre-flight inspection of their small unmanned aircraft? There is no, I can tell you straight off the bat, you always have to check your aircraft before your flight, after your flight. There's no, but that's a trick question. All right, so I should just look for the one that says it, which if the subsequent flight occurs immediately following a flight before which an inspection was made, pre-flight inspections are only required for the first flight of the day. No. Forget it. Don't even read on with that one. So pre-flight inspections are required before each flight. I do it ritually. I always check my drone for moving parts. Just to make sure it's safe to go up, because the last thing you want is the drone to fall from the sky. So always check your drone before and after your flight. Because you can maybe fix it and have it ready for your next flight. You don't want to, okay, I'm done, that was fun, put it back in the bag, and then not be, and then, it's hard. Then go back and fly your plane, fly your drone, and then take it out of the bag, and you're like, oh shit, I can't fly today because I forgot to charge my batteries. I can't fly because this thing is loose, or I forgot to tighten that, or the propeller. I always check my propellers. Is this or that? I just check everything, because these drones go about 40 miles an hour, 25 miles an hour, and if you could really do some damage and put someone in a hospital. Anyway, back to the exam. Safety is an important element for a remote pilot to consider prior to operating an unmanned aircraft system. To prevent the final link in an accident chain, a remote pilot must consider which methodology: crew resource management. Safety is an important element for a remote pilot to consider which one. This one's tricky. Safety management system, risk management system. I would say safety, right? So if you're safe, then you're not at risk. But if you're at risk, then you eliminate safety. So I don't know. It's like friggin', I don't know. So which one did I say? I would say safety is an important element for a remote pilot in command. to consider prior to operating an aircraft system to prevent the final link. I would say risk it all. To eliminate nothing. Okay, these. I hate these. All right, which refer to figure 21, area 1, which would mean I go back in time. Okay, see, you just think, like, I just want to fly my drone. I just want to fly. But you got a lot of stuff you have to know. And then, like I said, you can just become that more aware. And, just hopefully you have your ham radio so you can call frequency 118.725. All right. Look out. Lewis is coming. All right. So, figure 21, area 1. Figure 21, area 1. After receiving authorization from air traffic control to operate a small unmanned aircraft near Minot Airport, okay, International Airport, Molt, while the control tower is operational, which radio communication frequency should be used to monitor manned aircraft and ATC communications? Okay, so I would say one. Oh, man, it's a tricky one. Damn it. All right. Control. Oh, is operational. So we know. All right. So is operational. So on that note, I would say CTAF is 11.82, and then 118.725 would be when the airport is not working. I mean, no one's there. I think, I don't know. Let's see. So let's try this one, CT. See, there we go. Voila. Sometimes it's tricky. All right. But because I don't have my ham, I gotta buy one. I thought about getting a license to operate a ham radio, but not for the sake of this. I met a guy at a meetup, and he was getting his certification to get a ham radio, and apparently, you could use the ham radio to somehow change the frequency in your goggles so that you can fly your FPV drone further. I'm like, wow, that's so cool. But you need a visual observer for that. All right. Anyway, the responsibility for ensuring that a small unmanned aircraft is maintained in an airworthy condition is primarily that of the remote pilot in command, owner or operator, mechanic who performs the work. This was a similar question but written differently compared to the one that we had gotten before. Remember, if I say, hey, go fly my drone, don't worry, it's fixed, you're good to go. Oh, Lewis said it's good, then it's good. No, you're responsible for the drone. You have to make sure that it's in working flying condition, no matter who gives it to you. And even if it's a company, and if the company says, oh, you can fly our drones, yes, that's great, but if the drones are not airworthy, then you can't fly it. But it's a little bit tricky when you get a company, because sometimes you gotta they don't want to know about it, they don't want to hear about it. It's still good. It's good because I said it's good, and I'm the boss. The boss knows. You're telling me how to do my job. You're talking to me, like that. So then you're like, I don't know. I think I gotta go. I feel sick. I sick. No hablas inglés. I gotta go. All right. The responsibility. So I would say the remote pilot in command. You are the remote pilot in command, and responsible for everything that happens to the drone, even if it's not yours, because if you're flying it, it's in your care. Which would most likely result in hyperventilation, emotional tension, anxiety, or fear, excessive consumption of alcohol, an extremely slow rate of breathing, insufficient oxygen. Oh, not that one. It's the first one. Emotional tension, anxiety, or fear, which happens to every pilot. I just pressed the bottom one on purpose in the beginning. I remember I used to get that. It's like the first time. I don't know if it happens to FPV pilots, because shit just happens so fast. There's no time to like leave the drone hovering in the air. It's like, okay, I need some time. All right, let me take a little breather, and you can catch your breath. But when you fly the drone, when I first time I was flying the Mini 3 Pro, my hands would shake. I'd have the jitters. I'd be shaking, and then I had like trouble breathing. I would be hyperventilating, and then so of course that's the correct answer: emotional tension, anxiety. But you're like that, and I thought it would never go away, and then slowly, I just became more and more. And then I joined the meetup. I became more and more confident as a pilot, and got better. But emotional tension and fear set in. And fear led to panic, and I thought it was never. And then I just kept reading on the forums. It was happening to other fellows. I'm like, oh my god, that's me too. I have that. And then eventually, you're like, oh, you'll get over it, because then you see other guys that get their drone, and they're going through the same thing you did, and now you can be a mentor to them, like I'm a mentor to you. I'm getting your part 107. 9 more questions. All right. In this section, a remote pilot in command and a visual observer define their roles and responsibilities prior to and during the operation of a small unmanned aircraft. This is good use of crew resource management, authoritarian resource management, single pilot resource. I would say teamwork, but we have to talk like them. Crew, my crew. Do you want to be part of my crew? And that would be it right there. But I would say good teamwork, All right. When should the battery for a small unmanned aircraft be replaced? Once recharged more than 10 times in the preceding 30 days, per the guidelines of the small unmanned aircraft manufacturer or the battery manufacturer, whichever is more restrictive, per the guidelines of the small unmanned aircraft manufacturer or the battery manufacturer, whichever is least restrictive. Now I would say whatever is more restrictive, right? Like you just saw me, I had an experience with my battery. It said 100%, it would charge. It was nothing wrong with the battery, but I returned it back to the manufacturer because one, it was covered. Two, you shouldn't be flying with batteries that have errors in them, because anything could happen. It could blow up in midair. It could blow up while charging. So even if and it was operating normally. So you just want to be safe. Remember, like I always say, preventative is always cheaper than damage control. So maybe the second one, right? Let's see what the second one is. Yep, more restrictive. So you always want to be more restrictive. This is one of those other questions. Okay. Identify the hazardous attitude or characteristics of a remote pilot in command. Oh, sorry, I'll read it again. I forgot the A. Identify the hazardous attitude or characteristics a remote pilot in command displays while taking risk in order to impress others. Oh, look what I could do. Yo, look at me, watch me fly. You can't do that. Machoism. Yo. Alright, look what I could do. Risk management has part of the aeronautical decision making, ADM, not ABS, ABM, process, relies on which features to reduce the risk associated with each flight. Application of stress management and risk element procedures, situational awareness, problem recognition, and good judgment. The mental process of analyzing all information in a particular situation and making a timely decision on what action to take. That's a tricky one because there's just too much shit in that question. Too many options. Situational awareness, problem recognition, and good judgment. I would say the last one. It's either the last one or the second one. The mental process. Maybe the second one. Because I don't recall the guy. Hold on. Whoops. Oh, there we go. Yes, I'm back. I'm going to say it's the second one. And I'll tell you why if I get it right. Because usually when words like the mental process, and if you've read these books, there's nothing pertaining to that vocabulary where they say mental process. They use words like fatigue, whatever, just there's nothing like that in there. It's like mental process. I read every freaking book they threw at you, and there's nothing I can recall while using words like the mental process. Agility, right? All right, next one. How often is the remote pilot and control required to inspect the small unmanned aircraft to ensure that it is in a condition for safe operation? Annually, monthly, before each flight? Before each flight, I can't stress anymore. Check your drone before each flight. And batteries too. As you can see, I might have a new video on batteries. Scheduled maintenance should be performed in accordance with manufacturer's stipulations and contractor requirements. Manufacturers suggested. There's no stipulations in the Part 107, but at least like that I know of. But it's a tricky manufacturers. I mean, I don't. This is a tricky question because I don't. One, I don't check my drone based on stipulations of Part 107, and I don't do inspections or maintenance based on the manufacturer's suggested procedures, because you see me, I'm always fixing my drones weekly. So I'm like, wait, I'm fixing my drones every week. I just crashed one into the house and just did my care refresh and got one replaced. So I'm like, I don't know. I think there should be a fourth option, right? So in this case, maybe the first answer. So not everything will apply to you, because the thought process, like what I just shared, runs through your mind. Like, this doesn't make any sense. I'm fixing my drones every week. Damaged lithium batteries can cause an in-flight fire, a change in aircraft center, increase in a change in aircraft center. Yeah, but this one doesn't make any sense, because I'll choose the right answer, but then I'll tell you, because you can have a fire. It doesn't have to be in flight for you to have a fire. If you don't take care of your batteries, they're going to blow up in your house while you're sleeping. So, like some of these, you're like, wait, there's more to it than just that. And then you have someone who will always say, no, it only happened in flight. All right. When should pilots state their position on the airport when calling the tower for takeoff? When visibility is less than... When should pilots state their position on the airport when calling the tower? So you're on the taxi, on the runway. When should pilots state their position? I don't know, because I just fly my drone. I just go up. I just go, I'm going up. It's not like, this is Captain Morris speaking. Can I just get clearance to take off for my DJI Avata? All right, when parallel runways are in use. When departing from a runway intersection. Probably the last one. All right. 68. 3 more. The Common Traffic Advisory Frequency, CTAF, is used for manned aircraft to announce ground and flight intentions, request air traffic control clearance, request fuel. I'm going to say the second one, maybe. No, it's the first one. And then let's see, announce ground and flight intentions. Wait, request air traffic control clearance. Wait, that's so confusing, because announce ground and flight. So I can announce my intentions, but I can't do my intentions without getting air traffic control clearance. So either way, this is what some of the questions that are confusing, because announce ground and flight intentions. You're always at the mercy of air traffic control. Like, it's not like I'd be like, yo, I'm flying, this is me, I'm coming through, make way. No, you need like they give you the clearance, and you're like, this is Captain Lou speaking, flight 304 to American Airlines, requesting permission to enter airspace Alpha Delta. Like it's not like you go rogue. So that's why it's a little confusing, because you have to request air traffic control clearance and announce your flight intentions. So I don't know. So anyway, so it's announced ground and flight intentions. Because either way, you can't do anything without getting clearance. All right, so anyway, so that's why some of them are tricky and don't make sense. Fatigue is one of the most treacherous hazards to flight safety because it results in slow performance, as it may or may not be apparent until serious errors are made, as it may be a function of physical robustness or mental acuity, as it may or may not be apparent until serious errors are made, because maybe the second one, you'll be slow if you're fatigued, but I don't know, let's try it. That one's a tricky one because you're going to be slow if you're fatigued, and as a result, the results of your actions of flying while fatigued may not apparent be apparent until serious errors are made, because it results in, I don't know. Anyway, 70. To avoid missing important steps, always use appropriate checklists, place carded airspeeds, airworthiness certificates. I have many certificates, as you've seen. I took the extra courses on top of courses and read all the material on top of material. But at the end of the day, if you try it properly and launch like the Before You Fly app, before you fly, you're going to have a checklist. All right, voila. One more, my last one. Can I get it correct? Which of the following sources of information should you consult first when determining what maintenance should be performed on and small unmanned aircraft or its components? Local pilot best practices, 14 CFR Part 107, manufacturer's guidance. That's a tricky one. It's the last. The answer to this one is the last one, but it's a tricky one because running through my mind right now is my experience of fixing my drones every week, and I'm not going by the manufacturer's guidance. So which of the following sources of information should you consult when determining what maintenance should be performed? Because if you're fixing your drones every week because you're crashing them, you're not really. I don't know. I maintain them. Manufacturer's guidance, but the reason why I'm so stumped on it is because nobody reads the manual. Right? When you think about it, how many people read the manual? People look for the YouTube video, so there should be another option there. Go to YouTube, and that's it. Now let's grade it and see. I got a few wrong, but let's see. What you really want is your percentage, and then go back to see what you got wrong, and then read it. And then I got a 98. That's not bad. That's pretty good. 98.59. How do you get a 0.59? This must be done by. All right, so you can go which ones you got wrong. You can, let's see. The correct answer to this new station should recognize hazardous situations and situations. Okay. I remember one of them I clicked purposely, and then one I clicked because I wasn't sure, and so the other ones, so I probably would have gotten like a 99, but it's fine. No, it's still good. But that was just for this area. Remember, so I would say go back, read the explanations, right? A culture of safety must be established. Well, we don't have to go through this because you can always do it again another time. But I just want to see which other ones I got wrong. So I got one. Oh, one really. Oh, interesting. All right. But I got, anyway, probably got a 97 or something because I think I got another one, two wrong or something. Let me read this one though. thought I answered that one correct. I don't know. Anyway, I think I did pretty good. It's hard, it's tricky, and you just got to push through and then piecemeal it. Like you see, I did one this week. That's it. I'm done. And then I'm going to do another one next week. Exit, right? Go to the study. Click start. Whoops. Click start. So we did operations, loading, and performance. That one's really cool. That one's interesting. I remember that. Weather is complicated because it's not just partly cloudy, chance of showers in the afternoon. It's really mind-blowing. Regulations is really hard. I mean, it gets, in the National Airspace System, which are 95 questions, which, we'll go over. I'll go over with you guys, and hopefully it'll help you understand things better so that, you can get your Part 107, or maybe you don't want to get your Part 107, at least you'll understand that much more about airspace. And when it comes to flying a drone, you're not just flying, there's more going on up there that you should be mindful of and respectful to, and you'll just be that much better of a pilot. Anyway, that concludes this part of the series. Is a live Part 107 introductory course, and if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. I got to get back to bed. Remember, if you're scheduled for your Part 107, don't be tired, because as you can see, the proof is in the pudding. If you're tired, you can't answer the questions correctly, and no matter how good you are, you're just gonna fumble, and then you have to go again. And hopefully, if you do go again, if you do fail it, you signed up for one of those courses online that will reimburse you if you fail, and then you just plan accordingly. But if you study hard, study, you'll be okay. And just piecemeal it. Remember, I'm not knocking this all out in one sitting. This was done. This is good enough for tonight. And then do a little bit every day, and then you'll get there eventually. And that's that's what my plan is: do a little bit every day, and then take my reoccurring exam, and then I'll have them good for another 2 years. And that's it. Anyway, like I said before, I hope this video helped you. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below, or ideas for other videos. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. And good night to you, Duhuvoral Gaming. Glad we were able to help you from AFIX. Sorry we missed you. I know we were busy, and so was I. I actually had guests tonight, so I wasn't able to start tonight until later. But look forward to chatting with you again via Skype or whichever. Those of you guys that have my number, feel free to call. Don't be shy. If you say hello, you have questions, as you can see, if I can help, I answer. I usually don't get to the social media until later. I have Instagram. I don't have Facebook on my phone. I usually don't get to Facebook until later in the evening, because I'll go to Facebook from my computer, because it actually eats up your battery. And plus, I don't want to get caught. And they call it doom scrolling. It's like it's a thing. But I used it a lot back in the day. Now, as you can see, I spend my time flying, flying, and doing research and stuff like that. Anyway, see you soon, and don't become a doom scroller. And I'll see you next time. There's actually a new video. If you made it this far in the video, I will share with you my new 2024 trailer video for my YouTube channel, which is really cool. It took a while to do, but I was like, I gotta do it, because the other one was good at the time, and you get better and better and better with your stuff, and as you work your craft, you're like, I gotta make a new video for when people come to my channel. And so on that note, I will show you guys. Let me see if I can. That's only because this is an Easter egg. No one else will have seen this, because you will have had to have sat through. I can get rid of this and quit that. You would have had to have sat through this whole series, this whole video, to make it this far for something special. Now I'm just going to make sure the sound is up. Let's see. I'm not going to share that in the description either. Now, auto desktop. Let me just. I might play and replay depending on if the sound comes out. And then I got to get rid of myself so that I'm not in the way. And get rid of action reflector 4. Voila. And now our feature presentation. This is going to be for the new YouTube trailer for 2024. And that's it. Kind of neat, huh? I figured it would be like all the things we did, but all the things you can do, and probably will do, like as we continue. Just for the new guys, because I'm pretty sure after Christmas people will be getting their drones, and people will be having more than the Mini 3 Pro. Will be trying to figure out how to fly the drone, etc. And it's just something good, just to freshen it up a little bit. It's kind of neat. And it took a while to make, but I figured, hey, if you made it this far in a video, you deserve to see some entertainment, like something good. That's gotta happen for you. Anyway, or if you, even if you're not in the live stream, if you're watching it, what is that? I got a thumbs up. Oh, interesting. Thumbs up. Was that me? That must be one of our viewers. Anyway, I gotta go to bed. I gotta wake up early because even though it's the weekends, apparently kids don't believe in sleeping in, but I will be, but I won't because I got, tend to the El Niños. All right, gotta go, and I'll see you all next time.